Hello and welcome to Memoirs of Successful Women. I'm Annie Gibbins, founder and CEO of Women's Biz Global, and I invite you to kick off your heels, get comfortable, and be ready to receive the golden nuggets that are shared as you listen in to candid conversations I have with fascinating women from around the globe. Business leaders, entrepreneurs, humanitarians, athletes, and a whole lot of regular people. They will keep you riveted as they let their guard down and open up on aspects of their business and life journey, how they measure success, and what they have learned along the way. My intent is that our conversations will inspire you to embrace opportunities and possibilities beyond the limits of your imagination, because I know that this is where we reclaim our power. I want you to reclaim your power, your strength and vulnerability, to stand in your truth and propel yourself towards the life that you dream to live. Hello to our gorgeous listeners. This is Annie Gibbins, Memoirs of Successful Women, brought to you by Women's Biz Podcast. And I am super excited to share our guest today. Her name is Suzy Michael. She is a media maven with a career spanning over 25 dynamic years, right? She's got a lot of wisdom to share. From journalism to television, her storytelling prowess and infectious charisma have left an indelible mark on this industry. She's also the co-author of the highly anticipated book, Memoirs of Successful Women, which is launching on October 18 this year. We're having a launch party at the State Library of New South Wales. And yes, it is the same title as this podcast, because we've had so many amazing, beautiful women over the last couple of years. We thought, why not make a sensational book and share the wisdom with all of our beautiful readers? Suzy, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Your journey is truly remarkable, and I'm so eager to delve into your journey in Memoirs of Successful Women today. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Annie. Yes, I'm so excited to be here. And Memoirs of Successful Women, what an awesome name. It just sets it up for an entire series of productions. I love it.
It sure does. It's super exciting. We're just pinching ourselves at the moment and can't wait to get these hot little copies into the market and into your hot little hands to our listeners. Now, I love your chapter title because it's called With the Right Mindset, She Can Achieve Anything Her Heart's Desires. Oh my gosh, that is just so great. I can't wait for everyone to read it straight away. Tell us about why you called it that.
Growing up in an ethnic family, Egyptian, my family are very big on faith and family and love, and it's to say that it's with the right mindset her heart can achieve anything, or with the right mindset she can achieve anything her heart desires. It all stems from their faith, and it was my grandfather, who is a priest actually. He passed away some time ago now, but he instilled in me big faith, big time. He would say to me, Suzy, don't think that you are limited by anything in this world. You have the power of your faith behind you. And the one verse that he always used to say to me is that through Christ you can do anything that you want. And that really kind of armed me when I was younger. And it made me think, you know what? Yeah, I can. You know, being young and impressionable, you always take on what your parents teach you and the morals and the ethics, and you grow with it. It's not that they instilled that mindset in me, but they instilled it through the faith, which is what they knew growing up, and what my family knew was just that was their faith. So over the years, obviously, I've adapted that faith to my own life and really focused on mindset and growth mindset, and not just taking a little bit of that faith into account and into my own morals and ethics, but then also expanding on that and saying, well, being a type A personality, very ambitious, very determined, how can I apply and still be true to what I believe in, but then also achieve the ambitious and big time goals that I want? And it's all about mindset. So that's where the idea kind of stemmed from.
I love that. I love it when just wholesome truths come through family members and those connections, because they are so authentic, they are so real, and they just, are so powerful to you in your growing up. But then it's really important to do exactly what you just said there, that you need to apply them to yourself. You can't just say just because it was grandpa's, philosophy on life or whatever, it's going to work for me. It can for a while, but then it'll come unstuck if you don't then make sure that it actually does resonate with you. And I love the way you have.
Look, absolutely. Because it's your life, right? So that life that my grandfather led, that was his life, but I adapted what I wanted to in my life and then added to it and changed it. And yeah, that's kind of how I worked it in. And that's a great thing that I think everybody does anyway. But yeah, that's kind of where that mindset came from.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love that for our listeners and also our readers through Women's Business Publishing, that's it. You're going to have so many examples of different people, what's gone and drawn them to live their life in a certain way, how they've applied it to their own context. And then actually all those moments that you can sit back and reflect, what does that mean for me? Totally I'm into this. Now, you've got a quote in the book that says, the success of life is to progress and change is an unavoidable part of that process. Oh my goodness. Tell us about that.
So this came from, as I said, stemming from that mindset. And if you put success in your books and you say, I want to be successful, if you're stuck doing the same thing day in, day out, and there's no progress or change, then inevitably that's how you're going to stay on the same route and the same route day in and day out. As soon as you apply some sort of a change, something's going to shift. Now, change is unavoidable when you want to be successful. And sometimes change can be for the worse. And then you need to adapt that concept of taking something that's going to do something detrimental to you and reshape it and refocus it on the road to make it a positive thing to help you get back on your track to success. So, for example, I'll give you an example of my own personal life. I started out doing television presenting. I was from the beginning at university ready. I had my career all lined up in one of the major channels. And next thing I knew, I met my sweetheart. Things took a shift and a change for me at that moment. I was very young. I was only 20, and things took a bit of a change for me. And at that time, it didn't sit comfortably with my fiance that I was going to be on television all the time. They said, can you do something else in media? I said, yeah, look, I sure can. I respect that you've got some apprehensions about that. And I did. I then still stayed in media, but did something a little bit different. And you know what? I'm glad I did, because soon afterwards I did have children, and it would have been very hard for me to maintain a career in media on the television screens with such a young family. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just very, very hard. And I ended up having 4 kids in 5 years. It was really concentrated dose of family life. And had I done that any other way, I think I would have set myself up for failure or even not had a really good name in the industry. So sometimes you get these hurdles in life and you hate them at the time. You think this change is going to be detrimental, but you shape it and work it and you let it work to your advantage to help you go back on your path to success. Don't let anything kind of stop you from getting that goal that you want. Yes, change is an inevitable part of that process to success. Make that change work for the better for you.
Such great advice, And it's interesting because other people will go, well, you shouldn't let him tell you what to do. You should just go and do what you want. But you've got to compromise in relationships. And then it ended up working that you ended up, look at you with your background with Suzy TV, those of you who are watching this on YouTube, that you've ended up becoming very much, a host of many different programs, very different genres. And so things work out. But, it's kind of like during your career, you do have to adapt and change and just keep pushing through and finding that new path and finding what works for you. I thank you so much for sharing that. Just wondering if you're happy to read us a little sneak peek of your chapter. Have you got a little chapter,
yes,
a little part in there that you might like to read us?
I would love to. Thank you. What an honor. This is a little snippet from my book. The energy that you put into your pursuits will ultimately be reflected back to you. You get in what you put out. Therefore, the true why behind your actions is what truly matters. Regardless of the obstacles you may face, genuine success and happiness are attainable through a singular objective: to embody the most authentic and elevated version of yourself. At times, you will need to be vulnerable to unlock your hidden abilities and full capacity. By striving to maximize your potential and uplift not only yourself, but also those around you, you can fulfill your humanity and find true fulfillment. Each person's life has a pattern and purpose, and that's how we determine our why. How do you know what your purpose is? How can you recognize it? Quite simply, it feels like your safe space. It feels comfortable. It feels right. The most iconic names in history have found their purpose, and that's why they are iconic. They are influencers and role models. Thank you.
Oh, don't you just want to read more, everybody? So beautifully written, Suzy. Oh,
Thank
love
you.
that. Beautiful writing. And yeah, you just feel like absorbing more and more and more. I'm just privileged that I've actually already had the sneak peek, but I'm the only one at the moment because all of you will be able to have this opportunity very, very soon. It is so about finding your why. It's so about finding your purpose. And don't you find that, Suzy, that when you find people that have actually got that, they just look so much relaxed and happy in their space. They don't have to strive as hard. They don't have to try as hard. They still work hard, but that I don't know, you can almost just see it in their whole demeanor. It's like, I'm in my happy place here. It's almost like I can't believe I get paid to do this.
Yes, because if you are not working, but you're doing what you love, well, it's not work really, is it?
Exactly. So I'd love you to just share with us, just to finish up, well, what have been your biggest challenges of overcoming? I know they're going to read that in your chapter, but just sort of to summarize, you've already shared that you've had 4 children in 5 years, and there's a fellow mum of 5 kids in very short, rapid succession. I know that can be just such a challenge. What are your other challenges, particularly in this area of media, that you went, you know what, I overcame them, I faced them and I pushed through, which is why you're one of our successful women, because you actually have a choice, don't you? You have a choice to get stopped, you have a choice to backtrack, or you go, all right, I'm just going to have to push through here and find my own way.
Yeah. A few other challenges that I faced. So I was 23 years old when I had my first child, and then I had the 4 kids in the 5 years. So by the time I was done, I was 28. So during the prime time. So trying to manage a career in media and a large young family at the same time was definitely very challenging. I needed to get creative. I needed to accommodate my children, my husband, manage a household, but still I wanted a career. I didn't want to leave that. I loved what I do. So working around that was very, very difficult. Not impossible, but just difficult, getting a bit more creative and thinking outside the box and looking for opportunities. The other challenge I faced was being underestimated as a female in media. It's a very male-dominated industry. And back in 99, even 97, when I broke into the industry, it was very male-dominated. And recently, coming now into 2023, I don't want to say not much has changed, because things have changed, but there is still a lot of work to be done. And being a female in my 40s now, oops, gave that away, but being a female in my 40s now, I look at other amazing women in their 40s and what they've achieved in their last 20, 30 years on television. And it's just phenomenal to see all the leaps and bounds that have come from doing their role, whether they are presenting or producing or script writing or they're journalists, but having that resounding, I'm a female, I'm in media, and I'm not going to be giving that up. I'm still going to go for it. It's a very tough industry as it is, but then having the hurdle of also pushing through with trying to have kids and taking time off to have kids and then going back to work and then having a household to run and all of those juggling acts that we need to do as a female.
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal challenge, isn't it? I know. You just sort of you look back after you've been through that phase and go, how on earth did I do that? Like, it is just huge. Yeah. So those of you who are going through that at the moment, you do get through there, but it's just the realities are it's really challenging. And I think it's really good to actually share that it is challenging. It's challenging for all of us doing that massive juggle, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't matter what industry, and I'm just using media industry, obviously, that's what I know, but it doesn't matter what industry you're in. it's a juggling act, as we know. And even for men who are, stay-home dads and stay-home partners that do that, it's different for each family. And I think each family unit and each couple have that challenge that they need to work around.
What was your biggest moment to just share of overcoming when you actually realised that Suzy Michael can do anything? Suzy Michael can actually be the successful woman that she was born to be. Can you picture a time that actually happened?
A time that happened. I would say when I was maybe 12 years old, I just had in my mind, I'm going to be a news reporter. I'm going to be a TV presenter. And my dad and my mum in my corner were like, yes, do it. And I think that just kind of fueled everything. And I think having people in your corner supporting you is one of the greatest assets you can ever have in your life, because that fuels your mindset. It then helps shape your thoughts and relationships and what you produce in work and everything. It just kind of helps that. So definitely it was when I was at that young, impressionable age of around 12.
Oh, isn't that just so gorgeous? And I love that the truths about ourselves often come in those childhood years, and they're often then squashed for a variety of reasons. But so many people that I coach, mentor, meet say, you know what, I knew it when I was a little kid. Some of you just go, I appreciate, this is who I am, this is who I was born to be, and you just have this beautiful journey to becoming. And others have some little turns, twists, things that happen, sometimes some incredibly long breaks and pauses, but it's so wonderful when you actually go, this is who I was born to be. And then you've created your own path. And that's what this book is all about. It's about women who have done their business and their life their way. They've done it in different moments, different journeys, different seasons, but they've all come out to a stage in their life and looked back and went, you know what, I am happy and proud to stand here as a successful woman. I have achieved incredible things in my life. I've helped to pioneer a phase for women in business and women and career women, and I'm proud of that, and I'm happy to share. And most importantly, they're happy to give you some little tips along the way. So to our wonderful readers who are watching this amazing episode of Memoirs of Successful Women, I encourage you to grab a copy. It's on womensbizpublishing.com. It will also be on Amazon and all of your best booksellers around the world. It's very easy title to remember, Memoirs of Successful Women, and you're definitely going to want to jump straight to the chapter from Suzy Michael, because it is riveting. It's absolutely fantastic.
And I'll just say one more thing. It's your life, right? Live it and do it your way. Don't worry what others say. And nobody else dreams your dreams. So don't let anyone talk you out of them. Go for your dreams. Stick to them. Be true to yourself too.
Beautiful way to finish. Thanks, Suzy.
Thank you, Annie.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Memoirs of Successful Women. I'm Annie Gibbins, founder and CEO of Women's Biz Global. And if you would like to fast track your future success, hop on over to womensbizglobal.com. Find out about all things women's biz, and most importantly, take the opportunity to have a free trial of Women's Biz Tribe. I look forward to seeing you online very soon. Until next episode, bye for now.